I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of...
Welcome to the show. It's the poetry event for people that don't like poetry. It's mud wrestling with words. It's poetry in dot fonts. It's not pulled up the key, but it's still pretty good. It's spoken word, #1 son, and it's called Bang Said the Gun. And on tonight's show, we've got the freshest, most exciting spoken word artist in the UK. We have the whirlwind that is Kate Tevez. And introducing Emma Jones. We have the brains behind Bang Said the Gun, Martin Gorton. The very wonderful Rob Alter. The vocal pugilist, David James. The wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Tim Clare. Also, the legend that is Mr. Jarvis Cocker. But kicking off tonight's show, wordsmith, educator, mentor, storyteller extraordinaire, Mr. Polar Bear!
Hello. The Year 9 boy stares at me like he's convinced the answer's hidden in my face. His eyes twitch. I can almost hear his brain working. His mate digs his arm and tells him to forget it. Nothing rhymes with orange. I smile. He refuses to give up. From across the room, his young teacher calls out that we need to finish our pieces and to forget about the rhyme. As everybody else gets on with their work, I lean on the boy's desk and tell him if he wants to take the rest of the session to try and rhyme the word orange, I'm fine with that. And to let me know what he comes up with. His mate asks me if I've noticed how when I'm just talking normally, it's almost like I'm rhyming. A few others agree. I smile and tell him I don't know what he's talking about. But how sometimes when I'm just walking about, a thought will come out. And before I know what I'm doing, I'm sorting it out into a pattern to the point where nothing else really matters. Even when I'm crossing the road and about to get flattened by a bus, I can't rush an idea. I know that might sound like I'm quite weird, but maybe it's kind of like when a drummer stands in the queue at the bank and without even knowing what he's doing, starts tapping a beat with his hand and his feet, and other people start to notice and focus on the rhythm because there are so many patterns in the way that we speak, in the spaces and cadence between, how we breathe, emphasis. Not to mention the gentle inflected differences, because each one of us has our own way of speaking which carries a unique way of reaching out to other people, and if that's what he means, I don't know, sir. I just thought you were rapping, innit?
Let's hear it one more time. Polar Bear! Keep those shakers going. Keep those bells going. He's rude. He's round. He's full of love. He's bruised with hate. Mr. Martin Gorton!
I'm ready. Have you noticed that people push in front of you more these days? Rude bastards. And people say, can I get at the sandwich shop, not may I have? Rude bastards. And then there's the people who are infected with the me virus. Rude bastards. And people who play their iPods too loudly on the tube. Rude bastards.
Shakespeare versus spiraling world obesity. To be or not to be? That is the question.
The announcer at the tube station who says, mind the gap. Rude bastard. There should be a gap there in the first place. People who send wedding lists. Rude bastards. People who let their babies cry on public transport. Rude bastards. Jeremy Paxman. Rude bastards. Jeremy Clarkson. Rude bastards. Jeremy Kyle. Rude bastards. Anybody called Jeremy. Rude bastards.
Red balloon, float to the moon. I'm a loony tune, a lunar star. I'm way over par. I'm a D-cup boob in an A-cup bra.
Fat people who can't stop stuffing their face and then expect the rest of us to fund their gastric band operation. Rude bastards. Old people, rude bastards. Young people, rude bastards. Birds that twitter at 5 a.m. in the morning, rude bastards. Anybody who writes comments about my stuff on YouTube, rude bastards. You lot for staring at me, rude bastards. Thank you very much.
Well, this is his assistant. He's just crawled out of Spike Milligan's underwear drawer. The not Oscar-winning Rob Alton!
According to this article in the Evening Standard, Carlos Tevez earns £250,000 a week. Now, I work in an art shop. And I figured out that for me to earn £250,000 on my current wage, it would take 20 years. And I did that with a calculator. So it's a fact. So with that in mind, I tried to imagine what it would be like if I had the perks of Carlos Tevez's job in my job in the art shop. I work in an art supply shop. I get paid £250,000 a week. Crowds of screaming fans gather at the windows of the shop, wearing replicas of my staff t-shirt that says staff on the back. They cheer me on with my daily tasks through chant and song. Stack those paint pots, stack those paint pots, stack those paint pots and sell them. Stack those paint pots and sell them. If I sell a particularly expensive set of oil paints, the cheers can be heard right across Soho. Young children copy my unique method of stock-taking masking tape. And rival art shops bid to get me on their books of watercolour paper. The injuries I suffer at work, such as paper cuts from cardboard boxes, are dealt with on the spot by the staff physio. Are you sure that you can continue to work today, Rob? Asked the physio. Yes. I can continue. I reply, to the delight of my screaming fans at the window. TV stations fight for the rights to televise footage from the shop's CCTV cameras so the nation can see how I collapse a cardboard box. Or inform a customer, yes, madam, I'm sorry. These are the only colours of pencil sharpeners that we sell. Thank you very much.
Life is like a tube journey. We merely board the train for a short while, travelling from station to station, knowing nothing of its origin or its final destination. This poem does not apply to people living in Morden.
There was a multicellular plant in the plant kingdom that wasn't happy about its short life during the 4 seasons. It wanted to live longer than forever, so it absorbed 12 particles of matter and the 4 forces of Mother Nature. In omniparatus, I must be prepared for all things, became its mantra in its horticultural mission. It started stimulating its miracle chlorophyll, mesophyll molecules in solitude. It secretly started replenishing itself too. Soul Invictus wanted to advance quick and spread out like Loropetalum chinensis, clutching the orange rose of desire, the red rose of love, and the purple rose of enchantment, and the Jericho rose that symbolized resurrection. It enabled it to spring into revolution. The rebellious flower led a botanistical revolt to break away from the Rosicrucianistical weeds that strangled its progression within its class division, infected by capitalism. Its ultimate mission now was to enhance the photosynthesis within the air of its last breath so that its last breath could never leave. But it became uncommon and lost its frankincense. Its fragrance and sincerity became non-existence. In its persistence, its positive energy would burn out like ancient incense, and it became very insensitive to various incidents, and its thylakoid membrane spent most of its time thinking how it could freeze the seed germination of the population within the pollination in order to acquire self-gratification, glorification, and adulation in the botanical nation. It wanted to be the only thing left behind to be idolized after the flower arranging of the planet was implemented. You could see by its tenacious application, it wanted to have everything in moderation and live longer than the last moment in time. It achieved its goal, but what was first thought as a blessing now became a curse to systematically unfold, because you could see that nothing could grow. In the land of split open pots and garden bowls, young sprouts were taken out every time the lawn was mowed, and bees and butterflies could not fertilize the globe due to the no-fly zone. Do they have stocks and shares and gravestones? I don't know. But I do know that the essence of soul Invictus cannot be crushed. Enjoy every moment of your life while you're here and keep breathing for those that have lost theirs.
That was Ali versus Clay, the vocal pugilist Mr. David J. And now, the thoughtful, most original ukulele playing Tim Clare. The first game that Mario appeared in was Donkey Kong. And in that, he's not off to save Princess Peach. His girlfriend is called Pauline. And for those of you who don't know, he's saving her from a giant gorilla. And you'd thought, kind of like after that his relationship could survive anything. But after that, she just disappears, and he gets with the princess. And I just always wondered how Pauline felt about that, I guess. In Donkey Kong, there's a level based in a pie factory, and I hope you'll agree it all mirrors our relationship exactly. It started in Japan in 1981. An error on a fax meant that they spelt the title wrong. Oh, it ate up all my change, never lasted long. Why won't you come and save me? Oh, the sequels weren't as good, there was very little text. You had to beat an ape each time you wanted to have sex. I did the whole thing in a dress, a ginger wig and thong. See, I know it might sound stupid, but I feel just like the girl from Donkey. Ooh la la la, ooh la la la, ooh. Whoa, whoa. Cheers.